So hi everybody. So I've been doing a lot of research on old evidence. Since all my evidence has been stolen, I had to get really kicking with kind of going back to the old Amy, which was less on Facebook and more, doing things that actually work. I mean, my gosh, Facebook's turned out to be a joke, right? So there's some interesting things going on. Not only am I working on a television show that's going to be, nationalized. It's going to be on nationalized television, I believe in March. But I'm also, the thing about me is I have always been someone who doesn't believe in, how could I put it? Even if people did evil things to me, I'd get mad, but I never really did anything that I considered mean back. But I started thinking about how much it's destroying, not only my life, but all the people around me. And so I kind of want to go back to the old me, which was really hardcore, just proving my evidence. Hold on one second. I don't know how that works, sorry. So I want to go back to the old me. The old me, for those that don't remember, was someone who did radio all the time, someone who would get my car and show up at people's offices that are elected officials, someone who really was in the news all over, even in Europe and all over. And then what happened was I became a targeted individual where most of my exposure on CPS crimes and governmental corruption and police corruption, it vanished. And I let it get to me, and I went really laid low and kind of went into hiding for years. And then when I came out of hiding, I was targeted viciously by an officer who went to jail, but as everyone gets out quickly and doesn't even seem like anything really happened to him. Indicted 2 felonies, by the way. So I kind of learned that the state is definitely not on my side. They're always trying to commit me in hospitals, and they're doing everything possible to make me look crazy. It's called gaslighting effect, and it's very real when you are someone who's been blowing the whistle as heavily as I have for years on dirty officers, Harris County corruption, which is one of the most corrupted counties, and one of the largest counties, forgive me, but I think corrupted too, in the U.S. So I've been really thinking about this. I finally got some sleep last night. I'm still tired because 4 days with no sleep gathering evidence. And I realized that even when I gathered hardcore evidence that the police said, this is what we need to put this person in jail and all that, even when I did it, it didn't seem to work. Now, I'm just going to blow up people's phones so they do the right thing, and I'm just going to record everything. I have enough secret recording to actually report people to internal affairs that they might even go to jail. I mean, it's that hardcore, some of the things I have recorded. You cannot, as an officer, hide death threats. You can, as an officer, hide major crimes. You can, as an officer, ignore evidence. And I've been going through this for almost 9 years. So now I'm back to the feisty Amy because I got really tired there for a while. I'm going to just record the hell out of everybody. I already have a lot of shocking things taped. And I already secretly already sent it out to lawyers and all kinds of people because they always hack in my phone and take everything, whoever these people are. And so I'm going to go after the crimes. I'm not going to talk about anything necessarily that might be speculation, such as I'm caught up in some kind of satanic cult. Sure looks like it, but, I'm being so viciously targeted. I've never seen anybody targeted quite like this. But Johnny and I were a very happy couple under the circumstances, and we began to turn against one another because I realized that's how evil wins. Because Johnny and I were the most loving couple, and then after we kept getting robbed and he quit his job for me and we kept moving, we definitely both started yelling at each other more than normal. We both, were blaming each other for things that were happening. And it really wasn't fair to either one of us, but it's called targeted couples. And let me tell you, the fact that Johnny and I are still together 8 months later, whatever, 9 months, is unbelievable. Even the police have said the average couple wouldn't have lasted a month. So I'm not going to let, evil people win by tearing me up any more than they have. I haven't seen my only child in 9 years. she was taken 100% unlawfully. I'm as bold to say 100%. And you think, I'm saying that for almost 9 years. You think if I was lying, I wouldn't be sued by now? Let me repeat it. 100% taken unlawfully. I'll say it again and again. 100%. Not even maybe 97, lawyer once said never say 100%. But I'm going to say it because I'm that confident that they can't sue me. And I kind of hope they do because I'd love the opportunity to go back to court. So I'm suing in federal court, pro se. Well, what can I say? I don't have the money to even file a filing fee right now after keeping it going for almost a year. But my goal now is just to have people focus on, instead of let's trying to take down these bad guys, let's just focus on more positive. Let's find me a lawyer to finish off this case. Let me focus on this TV show. Let me focus on the music I'm writing, on the art that I'm doing, my protest art. And let me get back to me, because there was an Amy who actually lived a very successful life with my daughter, who completely went homeless and everything else over a fight that was for once for justice, and my daughter, to literally a fight for survival. I can't tell you how many times I've almost died over corruption and cover-ups and police cover-ups and internal affairs even covering up when I'd go in there and tell them my horrible story. They didn't seem interested after they got what they wanted from me. Public Integrity Unit, sworn affidavits with the DA's office, Attorney General's, and it was all a game so they could use me for what they wanted, and they didn't care that I became a targeted individual more than ever for blowing the whistle on dirty cops. So then I blew the whistle on CPS, and it was dirty cops, and it was dirty elected officials, and I learned the hard way that they will get you. The saying, Houston, you have a problem? Oh, they sure do. It's called hardcore good old boy system that will do anything and everything to make sure you don't make it. No joke. Either they were hoping I'd die of a heart attack or homelessness or starvation. I'm not quite sure. One time when I got robbed, I went 6 days with no food, and the state did nothing about it, even though everyone said that I was going through this due to illegal activity and crime. So I'm going, really? The state's a joke. Johnny and I have every intention of not spending more than maybe 2 more weeks here. We're going to take care of some business, finish our first season on the show, and then we're bolting. And most likely we'll end up getting married and live a very different life. He has asked me to marry him. Some of you might know that. But then we became so targeted that there was literally no romance, no fun, no nothing but how are we going to make it today? Let's wake up to death threats or harassment or 18,000 harassing messages in 9 days that the detective in Harris County did nothing about. I believe her name is DeLuca. And, I'm just not going to let them destroy, first of all the people I love that are no longer with us, which is a lot of people. And Johnny could be next with the way he's been targeted and harassed and beat up and robbed. And so I'm just going to, try to have more patience with Johnny. And we're working on it. We're probably going to have to get some counseling because this is way too hard to endure without some outside help, especially when, he had such a tragic childhood and, growing up in an orphanage, he can't mentally handle all this drama. He's come a long way for how he grew up, and so has I with the horrific abuse I endured growing up. And our stories are actually somewhat similar, but I don't know. Actually, they're very similar, only his has nothing to really do with injustices, although now that he's with me, they're very much about injustices. So we're going to start calling the FBI together. We're going to start doing everything together. Last time he did this, he got heavily targeted. So I'm like, really, honey? Okay. He's like, this is crazy. And I'm like, yeah, you're crazy. He's like, yeah, crazy in love. In this case, that phrase could be literal, because I don't know too many men that would deal with the things that Johnny has dealt with. All right, be strong. Don't be the victim, be the victor. File things if you've been a victim of police brutality, file internal affairs. If you can prove a crime by CPS, file in federal court. If you lose, you're no loser because you tried, and that makes you a winner. End of story. In God's eyes and the eyes of many, you should be a winner for anything that you do that's righteous and for the good of our children and our world. All right? So thank you, and God bless every one of you, and especially all our helpless, voiceless, stolen children.